Connect from here. Good evening, everybody. You're welcome to ATP Live. My name is Abimbola Hige. It's pleasant to have all of you joining us today. And once again, we have our CEO in the house in person of Dr. Gbemisola Boyede, a consultant pediatrician and founder of Ask the Pediatrician Foundation. It's so good to be online once again this evening. Please, I will implore you to please invite your friends, invite your family, your mother-in-law, your sister-in-law, as many people as you can invite to join us on today's show. And I want to believe that you all are ready with your questions, as our CEO, Dr. Gbemisola Boyedemi, is ready to answer as many questions as we're going to bring on today. Don't forget, when you are asking your question, please endeavor to tell us your childbirth date, the current birth date, the birth weight, and the current weight. Please don't forget. I repeat, let us know your child age, the birth weight, and the current weight. If you are asking anything about weight gain, nutrition, etc., etc. So let's bring all our questions on as I invite our CEO, Dr. Gbemisola Boyege. Good evening, ma.
Hi everyone. For those of you on Instagram, let me specially welcome you. I'm sure you cannot see Omolara. You can only see my face, but I'm sure you can hear her voice. So just bear with us. So you will only see my face, but you will be able to hear Omolara from those of you on Facebook and YouTube. You can see Omolara as well as hear her. For those of you on Instagram, because Instagram, you can only go live within the Instagram app. So we can't do that. But for those on Facebook, YouTube, you can go live using other streaming platforms. So you can definitely see us, both of us at the same time. So you're all welcome. So please share the video. That's what I'm trying to do as well. Sharing our video. Please make sure you share the video and invite your friends and family to join us, and then you can start dropping your questions. Please try and drop your questions on time. I have been accused of always not keeping to time because I try to make sure we answer all your questions. So please, if you can just drop your questions on time, then we can take all the questions. We will not take any question that came after 7 p.m. So okay, so it's better you ask your question, then we'll take them. Please share the video. For those of you on Instagram, you can send the link to your friends through the box and then they can join us. Okay, so I think I've shared the video myself. Just making sure all our groups. So if you are in ATP Still a Mom or ATP Family Facebook group, you will not, you will see the video on the featured section, but if you drop your questions there, we will not be able to see your questions. So it's best if you click on the videos if you have a question. That is, anyway, if you have a question, so click on the video and then you can drop your question directly under our page and then we will see your questions and then we can answer them. But if you are not asking questions, you can just watch the video in the group. But those of you on HCP, that is Ask the Pediatricians group, you can drop your questions on the video in the group and we will see it as well. And the same thing for those on YouTube, the same thing for those on the HCP page. So I think all the sharing has been done now. So
Yeah, and the questions are coming in already.
okay, so just a minute. Okay, yeah, let me go back. So I can see a few people on Instagram as well. So welcome all of you. Please drop your question and we'll answer them as soon as we can. All right, so let's start.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me quickly add this. In case you drop your question after 7 o'clock, don't worry. You can go on our Ask the Pediatrician page and post the questions there. And moderators and professionals are going to attend to them. So don't worry if your questions are going to come in late. So thank you. Let's get started, ma.
Sorry,
Sylvester
that should be our Amolara, just a minute. That should be our Ask the Pediatrician
Sylvester
Facebook group.
Godwin Okodua. Doctor, please, what? Okay, ma'am.
Okay, I think your video is lagging to mine. Okay, sorry, Malara said if you have questions after the program, you can drop it on our not our page, it's our group. We don't answer questions on the page,
Group, yes.
Instagram, Facebook, YouTube page. We answer questions only on the ACP Facebook group. So please navigate your but from all our pages, you always find your way to our group and go to the group, drop your question. We can answer your question from Mondays to Saturdays, 24 hours every day. So don't panic if you don't answer your questions today. You can always post it to our group and then we will be able to answer it. Okay, sorry, Amara. So we can start now.
Okay, ma. Sylvia Godwin Okodua. Doctor, please, what causes wheezing in a year and 10-month-old baby? 15 kg. You didn't tell us his current weight.
No, I'm sure
You
the
didn't
current
tell us
weight
the
is
current weight.
I think if current weight is the 15 kilos, the baby's birth weight can never be 15 kilos. So that's okay. Okay,
Mm.
so when you say baby is wheezing, so it is a form of breathing where the baby make these sounds and they make sounds that sound like a wheeze, you know. So there are many reasons why baby wheeze. So it is not just usually it tends to do with two major organs. It's actually either there's a heart problem or there's a respiratory problem. It does not automatically mean the child has asthma. So you really need to see a pediatrician so that we can examine the baby. For example, if your baby is been having like a migraine fever and all that in this age group, the first thing we think about is what we call bronchiolitis, you know, or if your child has been having other problems like cough and all that for long, the child is also struggling, you know, to gain weight and all that, we start thinking of a heart problem. Usually we will listen to the heart to see whether there are other murmurs and all that. Obviously, if there's family issue or people with bronchial asthma, and this is not the first time this is happening, then we may think of bronchial asthma, especially if the child gets better after we have nebulized it. So there are different causes. So if your child is wheezing, it's a very serious symptom. You need to take that child to see a pediatrician so that the pediatrician can examine your baby and then they can also make the correct diagnosis and they can also do the right treatment. Even some children can wheeze when they have asthma. Some children can wheeze when they have put in foreign body into their nose and there's a block of the airway. So there are many, many causes. So the best option is to take that baby quickly to see a pediatrician.
Okay, thank you so much, ma. Another person is asking, what are the symptoms one will see in a child while suspecting pneumonia?
Okay, so thank you for that question. I guess you must have been on our Facebook group because last week, on the 12th of November, we celebrated the World Pneumonia Day. And why is it so important? So I'm sure you had a lot of noise and a lot of news about pneumonia is because pneumonia is one of the killers of our children. It's one of the top five killers of children. And every 47 seconds, one child is dying from pneumonia, you know, so that is how bad it is. So what are the signs of pneumonia? So if you go on our Facebook group, we had a group discussion already on the topic. I also posted videos made by the pneumonia working groups on what is pneumonia, what are the signs of pneumonia and all that. I even also posted a video of a child who is having difficulty with breathing so that you will know how it looks like when a child has pneumonia. So for the person who is asking this question, I strongly ask you to go to our Facebook group. Just go to the topic, type pneumonia. You will see all the videos because we tag them, or or also you can type what pneumonia did. You will see all those videos I'm talking about because every breath counts. That's the theme. So you will see all those videos. So it's very important. I think sometimes seeing it is easier than just hearing it. So number one, we talk about a child who is having fever, a child who is coughing, a child who is having difficulty with breathing. So usually when the child is having difficulty with breathing, there are signs of respiratory distress. So the child's nose may be flaring. You may see this, the inside the ribs, what we call the spaces between the two ribs, they will be going in, you will see that this child is struggling to breathe. You may even see the upper part of all the spaces around the neck also going in. So those are the signs. A child who is breathing very fast, who is breathing with so much difficulty. Some children may even start turning blue, or, changing color and all that. So when you see a child who is having fever, who is coughing, who is not having fast difficulty with breathing, that child may have pneumonia. You must take the child to the hospital. This is one of the reasons why we strongly don't recommend giving cough syrup to children, because most of you, what you do is that when your child is coughing, you give them cough syrup. So the cough stops, and then you think all is well. Whereas that child may have pneumonia and all is not well, and that child may die, because children die easily from pneumonia. So, but if you have come to the hospital on time and the child has been treated, then the child's chances of dying is less. But people just begin to give cough syrup. So all the time that doctors could have used to treat the child's pneumonia, for the pneumonia to get better, you spend that time treating coughs with cough syrup. Then by the time you come to us, the child is almost gone. So we strongly don't want to give children below the age of 2 cough syrup. If they have cough, just leave them alone, because cough itself is not the problem. What is the cough telling us? Is it something in the upper airway, which is a viral infection, which will clear on its own, which does not require any treatment? But there will be no fever, there will be no fast breathing, there will be no difficulty with breathing. But a child who is having high fever, who is coughing, who is having high fever, who is struggling to breathe, who is having what we call indrawing of the chest wall and all those signs of respiratory distress, I would really wish you to watch that video. Then that kind of a child is having pneumonia, it must be treated quickly to avoid death. Pneumonia is also
Thank you.
preventable. Sorry, let me just take a little more time on pneumonia, because we just celebrated the word
Yes,
pneumonia.
my word pneumonia day.
So we really need to emphasize about pneumonia. And number one, pneumonia is preventable. It's an infection. It's also treatable. So it is one of the painful things for us as pediatricians to see our children dying from conditions that we can treat, from conditions that we can prevent. So why should our children now be dying from them? Just like diarrhea, just like malaria. So this is why we take time to educate about this condition. The only reason why children die from pneumonia is because parents don't come to the hospital on time. And it's a common problem here, especially in Nigeria, in Africa, where most of the children die, because people don't recognize the signs. People don't come to the hospital. People do a lot of self-medication and all that. That is why children die from pneumonia. If we prevent pneumonia, or if we identify pneumonia early and treat pneumonia properly, no child is going to die from pneumonia. I think there are also a lot of radio jingles that the Pediatric Association of Nigeria and all the Nigerian Thoracic Society, they've done about awareness about pneumonia. So please listen to all those things. To prevent pneumonia, exclusive breastfeeding. So when we sing and shout and scream exclusive breastfeeding, people think it's just about why should I breastfeed my baby. It's about preventing conditions like pneumonia. That is why it is also part of it. It's not just about feeding your baby. It's also about preventing conditions like pneumonia. Okay. Also, immunization. There are vaccines against pneumonia. Pneumonia is usually caused by 3 major bacteria. I mean, the kind of bad pneumonia that tend to kill our children. They are caused by 3 big bacteria: pneumococcal bacteria, Haemophilus influenza bacteria, and sometimes measles as well. That's a virus. So all these 3 things I've mentioned, they all have vaccines. So we have the pneumococcal vaccine, we have the HIV vaccine. So that is why you should take your children for the immunization. Of course, there are other bacteria that can cause pneumonia that we don't have vaccine for. But at least if you take care of the big ones, then the small ones, we can handle it when it comes along. Then obviously, when your child is already sick, fever, cough, fast breathing, difficult with breathing, please bring them to the hospital on time. This is not the time to say, oh, hospital is, I will go in the morning. It's not the time to say, I've had people tell me that, oh, it's already late, I can't go to that. And I'm like, that sounds very, it sounds very unusual when I hear such statement, because we work in the hospitals 24/7. There's always a doctor on call every blessed day of the year. No, whether it's Christmas, whether it's New Year, there's a doctor who is working. So there's no excuse for you saying you cannot take your child to the hospital because it's already late. The children emergency room runs. Even when there is strike, the children emergency room still runs. 24/7 every single day of the year. So please don't give excuses late. There are hospitals that don't work nights, or usually private hospitals, small clinics, but the government hospital, general hospitals, teaching hospitals, they are always working 24/7. That is what makes them an hospital. That's what makes it an emergency room. So please take your children to the hospital in case, yeah, of course, but if you have identified the symptom on time and you go to the hospital on time, we will not need to be rushing for emergency in the night anyway. So that is that's what we need to do. And when you are giving antibiotics, please complete the treatment. Don't start for 3 days. Like a mom told me yesterday, no, not yesterday, maybe a few days ago, because they gave up treatment. She think the antibiotic is beta. She just stopped it. After 3 days, the child is still having fever. The child is still very ill, but the mother stopped the antibiotics because because the drug is bitter. That is really ridiculous thing to do. If you think your antibiotic you don't like it for any reason, that is not the problem. You go back to the doctor. There are always alternative. Usually there will be alternative that the doctor can give you that maybe sweets that your child may like. Or sometimes we even tell you sweeten it with another, maybe a multivite, something. There are ways we do around this, but stopping the drug that a doctor has prescribed for your baby when you have not completed it is very dangerous. This is why children develop what we call those bacteria, those germs, they will develop resistance to those antibiotics. So you really need to be careful to make sure you do the right thing. So if our children, we prevent pneumonia, breastfeeding them, don't expose them to all this smoke from firewood, kerosene, gas, all those smoke, indoor cooking to avoid smoke, cigarette smoking by the parents. Please don't smoke near children. It also predisposes them to pneumonia. Immunize them, exclusive breastfeed them. Their chance of having pneumonia is low. Then if they have it or whenever they have it, please seek medical attention on time and complete the treatment. And if you notice your child is not getting better, please go back to the hospital. Sometimes we need to admit children. Sometimes we need to give them oxygen. You have to come to the hospital for all that. It's not everything that can be treated in your house. So that is what I really think. Thank you for the person who asked this question, because it gives me another opportunity to emphasize the message
More
about
on
pneumonia.
it.
Yeah, it is very important that we have emphasized that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You really give us a well detail. It's like we are even having a topic on it right now. Thank you, ma'am. So Sharon Rose is asking, good evening. Good evening, Sharon. Please, what is the cause of tears coming out from a year-old baby's eye?
Okay, your
Tears
question.
coming out of
Yeah, thank you. The question is not complete. What do you mean tears coming out? There's nothing wrong with people having tears. Anybody can have tears coming out of their eyes. So you really need to be very specific. And I try not to assume what you're asking me, because sometimes I may be wrong in my assumption. So I was thinking, I think maybe you want to ask about the fact that the child is not crying, but the tears is flowing. If that's what you want to ask, you need to be very specific. But saying, why is a tear coming out? Everybody can cry. Tears will come out from their eyes. So I really need to be sure what exactly you meant by that, so that we are on the same page. Okay.
yes, pediatricians you can
Okay.
recommend in states other than Lagos, as some mothers do not have full confidence in some pediatricians because of their method of treatment. My baby is 3 months, birth weight 3.5 kg, at 10 weeks 5.4
Okay. But you are not even asking
kg.
question about your baby anyway. Okay, so number one, let me start by saying something, because I know where this question is coming from. Because some mothers always assume that every doctor who sees a baby in the hospital is a pediatrician. That is absolutely not correct. And I've seen somebody has inboxed me to ask that, what do pediatricians wear? So from my mind, maybe there's a particular clothes that we pediatricians will wear that will help you to identify pediatricians. That is actually wrong. And so, because most of the time we wear different things. Sometimes we don't even wear, because pediatricians, sometimes we don't like to scare the children with the white coats. So sometimes some of us we don't wear our white coat. Sometimes we wear our scrubs. Sometimes we wear our normal clothes. So you don't identify a doctor by what they wear. You don't identify a doctor because they saw a child. That's not how to identify a pediatrician. The only way to know who a pediatrician is to ask, are you a pediatrician? Is a yes or a no. So pediatricians are not always the only doctors in the hospital, and there are some hospitals where they may not have a lot of pediatrician. Maybe the whole of their hospital is only one pediatrician. So, of course, the pediatrician alone will not be able to see all the children. So, there are cases that our junior doctors will see, the medical officers will see, the general doctors, what we call the family doctor, or the general practitioner will see. So, it is not every doctor who sees your child who is a pediatrician. So you can ask, you see, we've done this before, but I think maybe we need to revisit again. There's what we call the patient's bill of rights. You have rights as a patient. You also have responsibility as a patient. Nigeria, the vice president launched that document I think it's about a year ago now, and with a lot of fanfare. It's something you can go and download on the internet. You need to know what are your rights as a patient in a Nigerian hospital and what are your responsibility. One of your rights as a patient is to be able to ask the doctor who is treating you what their qualifications are. You should ask. You can ask. You may want to know, madam, who are you? What are your qualifications? It's not a rude question. It's just for you to know whether you have enough confidence. So it's not right for any person to pose as a pediatrician if they are not a pediatrician. So they can tell you, ideally, in private hospital, doctors keep their
Wow.
certificates.
Sorry, Hasi, who is going to leave?
Sorry.
You are back, Oma.
Yes, okay. Did I disappear? Okay, I think I've always been on. Okay, so doctors keep their certificates at the back. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's part of
We
your
can hear you now.
it is part of your rights as a patient to ask your doctor who they have. So if you want your child to see a pediatrician, you must ask, I want my child to see a pediatrician. They have a right to tell you, we don't have a pediatrician. This is the doctor that's available that will see you, and you have a right to say, yes, I want to see them or not. You Just to clarify, you don't have to see a pediatrician for everything. There are cases that general doctors can see. So your child has malaria, you don't need to see a pediatrician to treat your child for malaria. Your child has cold and cough or catarrh, you don't need to see a pediatrician to treat that. So there are things that our family doctor who sees everybody can do, but there are things that only pediatricians can do. Ideally, every doctor should know the limits. So the general doctor knows that when I treat this case and it's getting to this point, it is time to take it to the pediatrician's level. It's time to refer you. So I know that sometimes it could be quite difficult in some places because of the financial implications and all that. But most private hospitals, some of them will tell you, our pediatrician, they will come on this particular day, will book an appointment for you to see a pediatrician on this social day if they don't have a pediatrician sitting in. That is number one. So number two, that is for those of you who go to private hospitals. If you go to government hospital as well, there you will never find a pediatrician in the health center. So those of you who are going to a health center, you are not going to find a pediatrician in the health center. Pediatricians don't work in the health centers. So pediatricians will work in general hospitals, federal medical centers, and teaching hospitals in Nigerian setting. Some private hospitals, children hospitals, they have pediatricians, but you will not find pediatricians in the health center. So the only place where you can find your pediatricians are the secondary, tertiary level hospitals. So you should know. In those hospitals too, you have pediatricians who are already consultants. You also have pediatricians who are in training. So the resident doctors, they are also pediatricians in training, and they can also see your children. But you also have a right to ask, who is the consultant in charge of my baby? If you think you have any doubts about anything, you have a right to ask questions. You have a right to ask. The doctors have a right to answer you. So that is what I'm going to say about that. Now, for ATP, we have our own pediatricians, and we use technology. This is one of the things we're doing now. We're using technology. Some of you are watching from Gambia, some of you are watching from Zambia, some of you are watching from Ghana, some are watching from South Africa, some are watching from the UK. So we talk to people all over in our Facebook group, which, by the way, reached our 700,000 mark yesterday. We have over Yes, thank you. You deserve a clap. We have over 100 countries represented on ATP. 100 countries. So we talk to people from everywhere and we treat patients everywhere. So if you're in Nigeria, you want to see a pediatrician, you may be able to see one via telemedicine. So if you want that, you can contact ATP clinics. But for now, we can only offer you a face-to-face in Lagos. We don't really have much of our pediatricians outside of Lagos doing the telemedicine part. So doing the what's it called? Doing the face-to-face. So
Face
if
to
you want,
face.
yeah, so but if you want to do video consultation, telemedicine, we do it through a very secure platform. So you can send us, I think, let me share our WhatsApp number. Please, this service is not free. So some of you will come to our WhatsApp number to be asking questions. We're not going to answer you because the person holding the number is acting as a receptionist to tell you what is so for you to get a pediatrician to answer your question, you need to post it on a group. So if you want to see a pediatrician, if you send any message to this number, we will tell you the fees. It is a very moderate fee, I can say that. So if you want it, if you don't want it, it's also fine. But please also come to a WhatsApp number. Know that you are paying for a service. Don't come and be begging us to do anything. We're not going to do that. It's a fee paying service for those who want to and who want to use telemedicine. Otherwise, please, you can post your question for free on the Facebook group and we will answer that. And we can always tell you go to the hospital, go to a government hospital or teaching hospital and all that. So I know some of you always complain that the government hospital is stressful, and they have to wait, just keep. But sometimes I know we're hoping Nigerian health system will improve, but at least you can be sure you are seeing a qualified professional, not a fake person. Because some of you in your states, the hospitals, there are a lot of fake people because there are some questions people ask and say the doctor tells them this, and I know that without any doubt that the person who says that is not a doctor, is not a pediatrician, because there's a way you know that this person has never, it's not even gone through medical school. So of course there are questions that there are ways other doctors may treat, because sometimes some doctors treat children as adults, like half adults. Children are not half adults; they are completely different people on their own. So in other words, because you give adults one tablet and you give children half tablet, it doesn't work that way. So that is where pediatricians come in. So I hope that has been able to help you. So for people like you who is not sure, you can always book through ATP clinics. Otherwise, um, okay. Otherwise, you can just go to the government hospital. At least you are sure, or you can always ask as well. I hope that is helpful. Okay, let me just quickly go to Instagram
Go to
so that
Instagram, please.
I don't
Yes.
make my Instagram people weary. I've talked a lot already. Okay, welcome Instagrammers. Let me see. Yeah, thank you. Aisha is asking, my baby of 10 weeks sweats on his feet and palms. Is it okay? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with sweating. But if your baby is sweating, then that means that maybe you're over dressing the baby or the room is too hot. So it's a sign for you to reduce the dressing. And if I'm going to make a guess, in a Nigerian mother, it is overdressing, because we cover up these newborn babies as if hair must not flow past them at all. Because some people believe that when hair flow past the baby will catch pneumonia. Babies don't get pneumonia from AC. They don't get pneumonia from hair flowing. That is not pneumonia. Is an infection. It's caused by germs. It's not caused by your AC. It's not caused by hair. So please don't over cover your baby. I always tell mothers, dress your baby according to the weather. If the weather is hot, just wear a light cotton wear. And it's not, if I some mothers were asking me whether when they should they stop wearing cap, and I'm like, it is never compulsory for you to wear cap for your baby. Cap, socks, meeting is never necessary to wear for any baby. If you live in a hot, humid environment like Nigeria, if you live in places where there is cold, of course you
Mm.
use that as a way to warm up. So if your room, the house is already hot everywhere, so please don't wear cap and socks and everything. You are just stressing those babies, then they were going to sweat. I hope that's helpful. Next question. Where are they? Okay. Yeah, Everlush perfume say my baby is 5 months. She's having serious cold, nose block, breathing with her mouth. Sometimes I've used Piriton, vitamin C. I have done steamy. Please, do I clear our nose? What do you mean? Do you clear our nose? How do you clear our nose? So, the first question I want to ask is, how long has this been going on? Because you say your baby is having serious cold. And when you use the word serious cold, I don't know how serious is serious. So you may want to get a doctor to have a look at your baby, even if it has been going on, because you say you've done this, you've done that. Because sometimes, like I was saying earlier, viral infections, which is the most common cause for cold, for cough and cold in this age group, they are viral infections. They are going to go on their own. There's nothing you are going to do. It's going to run its course and go, which means that it may take up to 10 to 14 days before it's good, because that's the life cycle. Uh, that's the pattern. When you have viral infection, it takes like 2 weeks to clear. So it is your steamy, your this and that is not what is going to cause the virus to go away. The virus is going to go away on its own. So what does your steamy and all those things do is to soften. If your, like you said, your child's nose is blocked, if your child's nose is blocked with mucus, because some people will say, oh, the child nose is blocked, child is having cold, but there's no mucus plug, then the child's nose is not blocked. So if the child's nose is blocked, there must be like a mucus plug. And that is, and children cannot easily sneeze out, like if it's you as an adult, if you sneeze, all those mucus will come out. So for children, you can put saline drop. So saline drop is just normal saline. It's just the same salt and water that you have in your kitchen, but it has been prepared in a very sterile and hygienic way and sold in the pharmacy store. So you can drop it in the nose, one drop. I said maybe every 3 or every 6 hours. So the
Hours.
advantage of that is that it will soften the mucus plug and the mucus will flow and you can just clean it out. I actually don't recommend much of steamy for this age group. Reason is that hot water burns is very serious. And some of the mothers, I know you are so frazzled, you are running after 2 or 3 toddlers, and so hot water burns is a risk here. So just putting the saline drops in the nose is fine. If you are thought you will use hot water, please just put this somewhere in the corner of your room and just let the steam diffuse towards you. Not that you will be carrying hot water, carrying baby. Please, hot water burns is worse than nose block and all that. So just buy saline drops. If it's not better after 2 weeks, or your baby is having fever, your baby is having difficulty with breathing, just like what we described for pneumonia, please go to the hospital. That's when you need to go to the hospital. I hope that's helpful.
Thank
Though
you.
she's not running fever, she's sweating as well. She always remove her mouth when I'm breastfeeding her. Yeah, so like I said, for your baby, I think you see a viral infection. You can use saline drops in the nose. I hope that's helpful. Who is sorry. Okay. Yes, I've answered that one. Sorry, I can't allow you guys to join my live video. Just drop your
Ah.
excuse me. And short smart say my 9 month old baby coughing is off and on, took him to the hospital, was told he has a malaria, gave me a shock drug to dilute in water, needs and which, what is a shock drug? I don't understand. So please, when you go to hospital, if they give your baby any drug as a parent, you have a right to know the name of that drug. I mean, you
Smart.
are a smart mom, you are using a phone. Any mother on this platform, you are intelligent enough to have a smartphone. You are intelligent enough to go on social media to watch somebody on Facebook. Please, you should know the name of your drug that is given to your baby. You should never give your baby something that you don't know the name. What if the child reacts to it? How do we know what your child reacted to? How do we undo it? So please, when they give you anything, and please, we have gone past the era where they will tell you, we can't tell you the name, or the pharmacists will be hiding. They will be covering the name of the drug they are giving you. I remember when I was growing up, when my mom used to take me to hospital, when you go to private hospital, they will pour the syrup into bottles for you, and then they will make sure that they cover the name
Mm.
of those things, because they don't
Yes, they
want
won't
you
let
to,
you see the name so
yeah,
that
they
you
don't
won't go
want,
and buy it outside.
we have gone past that era. We have gone past that era. That's our parents' era. In this era, You must, and I repeat, quote me
You
anywhere.
must.
Any doctor give your child a drug, they must tell you the name. They must tell you what that drug is meant to do. They must tell
Mhm.
you the side effects. You need to know. They should even you should read the leaflet. You should have the leaflet of that medication. Any hospital you're going and they are giving you medication, you don't know the name, they are not talking about it. Please don't go there anymore. They are quacks or fake or whatever, because I don't know what they are trying to hide from you. So please
Mm.
don't go to a place where they are giving you drug, they don't tell you the name. They must
Mm.
tell you it's your right. That is why we have that document, Patient's Bill of Rights. Please go and Google it, download it, understand. Doctors are not gods. We are not semi-gods. We're supposed to tell you everything. We are just workers also taking care of your health and that of your children. So we should tell you what we are doing. We should tell you why we are doing these things. You have your right to know. You have your right to be part of that decision. You have your right to reject our treatment. You don't have to take it. Yes, you have a right to say, I don't want to take this treatment. You have a right.
Yes.
If we think what you are doing is irrational, we can take you to courts and say that
Mm-hmm.
courts can force us to make your child take treatment, but we can't force it on you. Honestly, that's the truth. So please know your rights and make sure you. So this child, I don't know how cough translates to malaria. I don't know what the shock drug is.
Mm.
And you say antibiotics. So and I'm not sure what your question is at the end of the day as well, because okay. So what is the question? Shop smart. You've not asked a question. You've told me so much about your baby, what was done. So is your child better? Is your child not better? What is the question? Really, you have to ask me specific question. I try not to guess what people are asking me because I don't want to guess wrong. So you have to be very specific. What is your main concern? Why are you asking this question? So I know what to say and all that. So, but I think I just addressed the aspect of the fact you were giving a chalk drug to drop in water, because I'm still thinking, what kind of drug is that? Mama Lara, do you know? You're saying nurse, so I don't know whether you know what.
Honestly, I have no idea, but I believe that we have a lot of take home already. If anybody is on this platform and anyone give you drugs, you don't know it. They can even make a mistake giving you paracetamol or a chloroquine as paracetamol. You need to ask. You must know what you are giving your child. We are talking about a child here, a baby that cannot talk. So
Yeah.
you must know what you are giving that
Yeah,
child.
yeah,
It's
you should know.
compulsory.
Yes, and
Mm.
some of these our pharmacy shops. Apology to all the pharmacists, but you know what is happening in the industry. Some shops are not manned by pharmacists; they are manned by
Yes.
people who are just selling drugs, and they will tell you, um, uh, your doctor has written A, because they don't have A and they want to just sell drug. They will not say, "I just take B," and that B is also the same thing. That is never true. Even the pharmacist cannot change a doctor's prescription. If the pharmacist
Exactly.
think, I don't want to give you this particular drug, or the doctor, or I don't have this, or this is an alternative, the pharmacist needs to confirm with your doctor. A good pharmacist know that they will call the doctor. Okay, we have A, this is what you wrote, but we don't have A. Can I give B? Is it okay? The doctor take responsibility for the medication they've written. So if you go and change it behind them, you are the one responsible for whatever happened, as a result of that. Please. So it's very important, because I've seen where we wrote, I can't remember what drug we wrote for the child. I think it's something for conversion. And because the pharmacists, they didn't have it then, I was in Lutz then, they just gave this patient something completely different and completely
Hmm.
dangerous to administer to a child. If not that, we as doctors too, we are being very careful to make sure we check. All those drugs, they all look like the same. It's an injection. So
Yes.
they're all
Mm.
in that brown injection bottle. If you don't read, you will think it's the same thing. So please, some people are very unscrupulous in terms of what they do. So we really need to be very careful. All right. Okay, let's go on. Amaka is saying, my
Thank you,
baby
ma.
randomly sneezes. So she's 7 weeks old. So there's nothing wrong with your baby sneeze. There's nothing wrong. We all sneeze. Okay, so that's not a problem. And it's not a sign of cold, no. But just make sure that there's nothing irritating, because a sneeze is actually a protective reflex. It means your baby is trying to get rid of anything that is like a foreign body
Mm.
in the nose. So you need to,
Ca-
so
ca-
that is, but most Nigerian mothers, the reason why most of your baby sneeze is because you are putting eucalyptus oil, silver bed inside their oil, because I don't know who created that curriculum that when you are buying your baby stuff, you must buy silver bed oil. and put his eucalyptus oil. Please, it is not necessary. Your baby never need to use it. So trash it, so be very careful. Okay, I just be saying. So there seems to be a lot of questions about cough and cold and sneezing today. So it's good that I've answered a lot of questions about that.
Yes.
So I will not repeat myself. Just listen. If your child is coughing consistent, what do you mean consistent cough? So for us as a doctor, we try to be objective. So the word consistent doesn't make any meaning to me. How long has your child been coughing? 2 days, 3 weeks? That make more. I can relate more with that than when you say consistent cough. So that doesn't really. I don't really know what you meant by consistent. What is consistent to you may not be consistent to me. So it's better you tell me. My baby has been coughing for 2 days. My baby has been coughing for 3 days or 3 weeks, 3 months. Then I will
Hmm.
know. And if the child is coughing any other thing with the cough, so your child should not be coughing longer than 2 weeks. Any child coughing more than 2 weeks,
Hmm.
we call it chronic cough.
Cough.
A chronic cough, you need to see a pediatrician. It is not
Exactly.
a matter of what do you give or what should be done. It's a matter of you have to take that baby to the hospital because there are many causes of cough. So we've talked about viral infection, we've talked about
Hmm.
pneumonia today.
Pneumonia.
There are other things, heart condition, tuberculosis, bronchial asthma, so many things. How do we know which one? There's no way I'm going to know which one is wrong with your baby in these two lines that you've written. So you have to go see a doctor immediately. How that is helpful. Okay, I think that is just a minute. Okay,
Okay,
uh,
ma'am.
just one. I think there's a question in question box.
Okay.
Okay, same question. Okay, the Amaka also is saying, my friend told me I shouldn't use any cream, oils, powder on my baby. Is it true? So, Amaka, when it comes to the health of your baby, don't listen to friends, family. You need to listen to the doctors. And
Doctors.
yes, I'm happy you're asking here because I mean, in Nigeria, the whole village raises a child, so everybody has an opinion. But some people sometimes they go overboard, so they say the right thing, they mix with the wrong things, and it becomes quite difficult to know what to take out, what. So I always tell people, why not ask people that are qualified to advise you? So for this question on what is the skincare for your baby, one of our dermatologists just did a group discussion, and I think it's also on our website on this basic skincare of a baby. We don't encourage
Hmm.
powder because the baby doesn't need any powder, but there's no reason why you should not use cream on your baby. So your friend has added salt and pepper to the so please, you can use cream, you can use oil. All that we tell you is that it must be something your baby is not allergic to. So the more natural the product is, the better for your baby because some babies react to some of these products. Yeah, okay, I think that's all for Instagram. So let's come back.
Instagram. Okay, we have a lot of questions on Facebook. But we may not be able to attend to all of them anyhow. So we can go to a
Where did I
Facebook
stop?
user is asking. Good evening, doctor. Please, can I bathe my 3-month-old baby 3 times a day as the weather is very hot?
Why is your 3 months old baby needing bathing 3 times a day? Yeah, so it's once a day is enough. Once a day is enough. Whether your baby is not going to the market, it's not going to the farm, the baby is not dirty. So what you need to do is whether it's don't overwrap your baby, don't overdress them, wear light cotton wear. And if you think they are sweating, just use your wipes or just put your clothes face towel
So
in
well,
lukewarm water and just clean them up. That's all. They don't need for you to be bathing them. Once a day bath is enough. Let's just move on.
then good evening. Please, my son has this whitish stuff like rashes, but it goes off if I wash it on the penny scalp. But I took him to the hospital and they said that it will go off, but it's still there. What can I do? What do you think is the cause?
Okay, it would be useful if you have told us the age of your baby. Is it a newborn baby? Is it a baby that has been circumcised? What kind of circumcision did you do? So there are many things you have to say. You have not even said, you just say your son, so we don't know the age of this son. So I think most likely you are talking about a newborn baby who has just been circumcised. And like you rightly said, since when you wash whatever is the whitey stuff off, you didn't even tell whether your baby is circumcised or not. So we're not sure whether it's a baby who has the uncircumcised fillers, and they have this smegma inside and all that. So it's very important for us to know the context. So I think you should just ask this question, give it a context, so that I don't want to make a guess and then you now say, oh no, I'm not talking of a newborn baby. Oh, so it's become like a wasted effort. So just tell us what exactly is going on. Yeah.
Folashade Hope, is there anything I can do to help my 1 year, 1 month old baby to walk? He only stand and cruise around.
Not saying the baby will walk when the baby is ready. Baby is already almost walking. So just relax, relax, and your baby will be
Baby,
walking one day. But if your baby
the
is
baby
not
is
walking
already
by,
standing.
yeah, if your baby is not working by 18 months, just in case, but I don't think so. I think your baby is going to work soon. But if your baby is not working by 18 months, then please see a pediatrician. Yeah. Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you, ma'am. Okay. Is there anything to worry about if you notice your daughter is growing beyond her age? A 6 month old will always refuse to sit. She prefer to stand. Anything to worry about?
Okay, so that question can be a double-edged kind of question. So, number one, a 6 month old baby who is not sitting but trying to stand may actually have a developmental disorder. Some children have, but there are other signs. So it won't be just the fact that the child is standing. The child will be stiff. You will notice that their legs are stiff or their body is stiff. So their body will only want to be in an upright position. Those are children who are having what we call cerebral palsy, evolving cerebral palsy. But if your child is otherwise not having any other symptom, your baby's body is not stiff and all that, it's possible that the child it's possible, but it's very unlikely for a child to skip. They can skip crawling, but they don't skip sitting. Your baby will
Yes.
still be able to sit. Of course, baby may be sitting and then while sitting now try to get into standing. If that is the case, yes, I will not worry. But if your baby does not sit at all, like if you put the baby in a sitting position, baby cannot sit, and the baby only wants to stand, that baby may actually be having some developmental issue, and we should see
Yeah.
um, a pediatrician. We are not sure
Okay.
who this Facebook user is, whether it's related
Yeah,
to.
the question is actually not complete, so I think we should just move
So
on.
for those of you on our Facebook group, if you're on a Facebook group, you need to give StreamYard permission to show your name. If you don't give them permission to show your name, we will only see you as a Facebook user. And
Facebook
when we see you as
users.
a Facebook user, there are many Facebook users as well. So we will not know
Yes.
which one is your half question, which one is your complete part of your question. You need to
Mm,
put all your question in in one comment. If you have done half, just still go and repeat it and put it in one post.
comments.
That's the only way, one comment. So that's the only way it will make sense to us. Yeah.
Yeah. Faithful Yemisi Daniel, good evening. Please, what is the cause of red rash on a baby's body, aka ELA? Please, my baby is 6 months and suffering from it. What can be used?
Okay, so Yoruba people use the word "ela" a lot, and they use it for many rashes. So "ela" is not very specific. It's not like a medical diagnosis that has a specific. So, and skin rash is also not very specific. So I can think of so many kind of red skin rash. So the best option is to see a doctor who will see um your baby, know the kind of rash, know the type of rash and the cause of the rash. Please don't go and do self-medication. Some of you think if you use there's a particular cream you all know to use, or pseudo cream, or this particular product, you think all the rashes will go away. I know it's not your fault, because the people that advertise those products, they gave mothers
Yeah.
the impression that all those products is a cure all. There's never any medical condition, any product that is a cure all in medicine. So rashes can be fungal, could be bacterial, even could be allergy. So there's no medication that's going to cure all. If your child has a bacterial infection, you need an antibacterial cream. If your child has a fungal, you need an antifungal. If your child has a allergy, you need an anti-allergy cream or steroid cream. So some people will try and do what they call triple action, put antibacterial, antifungal. It is dangerous, because when you use something you don't need, it will cause its own effects. Every medication has side effects. So we don't want you to be doing all these, I just go and use this product. There is no product that cures all rashes. Just get that myth out of your head. The most important thing for a rash, some rashes don't even need any treatment. It is as simple as stopping whatever product you are using that is causing your baby to have the rashes. If your baby is allergic to particular soap, that you are using. All you need to do is to stop the soap and the rashes are gone. So you really need to understand this. So, but people that are selling products don't want you to know that. They think they give you the impression their products will solve all skin rashes or red water, red flour, all those things we don't recommend them. So your child has rashes. This question is for all those who are going to ask questions about rashes. So I've answered all of your questions.
Mm-hmm.
Your child has rashes. We need to see the rash. We need to see it. No doctor diagnoses a rash without seeing it. We need to
Mm.
ask questions about the rashes. No two rashes are the same, even though they are looking alike. So the rash from if your child is reacting to amoxicillin or if your child has measles, they will look exactly the same. The difference is the information you provide to the doctor. So if you told me your baby has been having cough, your baby is having catarrh, red eye and all that, and your baby have fever, then maybe now came up with a rash, like that look like a measles rash, then it's measles. But if your baby come up with a
Mm.
rash that look like measles, but your baby is not be having fever, it's not having cough, it's not having red eyes, it's not having running nose, but your baby has used antibiotic 1 day or 2 days ago, then it's most likely an antibiotic reaction. It is not
Allergen.
measles. This is how doctors reason house things. So we don't just see that. Some of you will also post picture and you say, what is this? What do I do? Without any information. We are not babalawos, we are not oracles, we are not diviners. You need to give that information. That is what I've just done for you now. Exactly the same rash, looking exactly the same, but the information provided tell us this is a measles or this is an antibiotic allergic reaction. So this is how things are done. So if you just think without seeing a rash, Dr. Kim is going to tell you what to use and going to go, then you're going to make me a fake doctor. That is not how doctors make diagnosis. So you really need to understand that. So it's either you post your picture of the rash with the information, or you just see a doctor who can look at it, ask you all those questions, and then tell you what to do. So that is for
Thank
all
you.
rashes questions. Yeah,
Okay,
let's
all
move on.
rashes question. Please be answered to answer this one, Dr. Baby. Tochi Ikeogu. Baby
Yes.
weight, birth weight 5 kg. Weight as at 9 months 10 kg. Date of birth 28 January 2021. Please, ma, is it safe for my baby to take sachet water?
Okay, so we answer this question all the time. So we
Yes.
just want your people to take clean water without germs inside. In Nigeria, I cannot vouch for any water, not even the one in a bottle. So because some people are very unscrupulous, and people bottle water. I mean, you've seen all these videos online. They bottle water right behind the house
Yes.
from, and they put logo of Ever on it. Making it look like it's original, but it's fake. So if you are not sure, please boil the water. Even if it's tap, even if it is water from the well, boil it. At least you will kill all the germs. So if unless you are sure that this water is very well processed and all that, personally, I don't recommend that. Boil your water. Be sure that is what you need to do. And thank you for joining us from YouTube. I'm always happy to see YouTube people.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching on
Thank you.
YouTube.
So another Facebook user is asking, my baby is a year and 11 months old. He eats
Mm,
very well and weighs 13 kg, but looks skinny.
mm.
Sometimes you can see his bones, and another cause for alarm.
I
Okay,
don't
any cause for alarm? What
I
food
don't
or
know.
fruits can be given?
I don't agree with you. There's no way your 1 year, 11 months old weighing 13 kilos will be looking skinny, because a 2 year old average weight is 12 kilos. So it's either your
Yes,
weight
ma'am.
is wrong, or you are also being paranoid about how your baby looks, because some of you want your baby to look so fat and chubby and all that. So number one question is, basically the information you provided is contradictory, is paradoxical.
The
It's
question you're asking.
because I expect a 2 year old, your baby is not even two yet. I expect a 2 year
Yes.
old to weigh 12 kilos averagely. So if your baby is even
Mm,
weighing 13 kilos, why will he be looking skinny? That doesn't sound correct. So medically, it doesn't make sense. So the best thing is to something is wrong somewhere. It's either the weight is wrong, or you are the one that is wrong in terms of your description. So it's better to see a doctor. And we doctors, we don't work by look, we work by facts. The weight of a baby is a core objective measure than my baby looks skinny. What does my baby look skinny mean? If you are slim in your family, your baby may be slim. Not everybody is fat in their family. What we want is an healthy weight. So your baby's weight is healthy, which is what you have told us by writing 13 kilos.
And the baby even eats well. The baby eats well. So nothing to worry about.
Anyway, but if you are worried, go and check that weight again and let a doctor look at your baby. But based on what you've told me, I'm not worried. So that's just my own.
Thank you. Good evening, doctors. God bless you for the great work. I have a 2 month baby. Did family planning about 12 days ago. Now I'm bleeding for 3 days. However, likely and having headache, which is unusual. Should I be worried? Could the bleeding be returned to menstruation? I'm breastfeeding exclusively. And with my first baby, my menstruation returned at about 5 months. I'm scared. Thank you.
All right. So please try and always keep your question very short and straight to the point. So when you go for family planning, they should have a conversation with you about the type of family planning. Don't nurses do this when you go for family planning anymore?
Ma, we do all this. We do it. We
Okay.
can't just give you family planning without asking you questions, knowing which one is going to be okay for you.
Exactly. So the side effects of your family planning method would have been communicated to you. There's no family planning method that does not have side effects. And you didn't even tell us which one you did. You just say you did family planning, which is more, you need to tell us, is it an injection? Is it implant? Is it IUCD? You need to be more specific because that will help us to know. So like if it's an hormonal injection, for example, you will bleed. It is normal. You can bleed for long. It is part of the side effect. They would have told you most of the time there's nothing to worry about. Within most of them will resolve. So there's no reason for you to panic. The headache, the mood. I think you
It's
did an
normal.
hormonal. I think you did an hormonal.
Hormonal, yes, it's hormonal.
A normal side effect. So I think you should. And usually they should give you a leaflet as well to take home to read. I don't know. Is it that we don't do these things? So because sometimes I worry when people ask certain questions, and I'm like, did somebody just give you an injection without talking you through what to expect? So just general knowledge. Please, whenever they give you medication, always ask, what are the side effects to watch out for? What should I do when I see the side effect? So for family planning, I just uploaded to our Facebook group a guide section on family planning. Lovely videos again by the Global Health. I'm so indebted to Global Health Media because they really make this journey of education very easy. So they provided videos of women and the different family planning methods, the side effects to watch out for, what to do, and all that. Please go watch that video because even though you didn't tell us the kind of family planning you did, but I'm almost certain you did an hormonal injection or something hormonal related because bleeding, headaches, and weight gain can still come along. So they also tell you what to do. If you think the side effect is becoming worrisome, but you only did it 12 days ago, still relax, give yourself time, But if you are worried and you think you want to change, you can change your mind. You can go back. If you did an injection, you can't do anything until after 3 months. Then you can stop doing it and do something else. But just relax, don't panic. There's no reason for you to worry. I'm not sure whether I missed out anything. Okay. So, and your return of your menstruation it varies from one person to another. So the fact that it's happened like that with your first baby does not mean it will happen like that
the
with your
second baby.
So just relax. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Do you want to check on Instagram, ma'am?
Yeah, because I think our time is almost gone. And
yes, ma'am.
So what I'll do, Omolara, is okay if you want to exit when you are ready.
It's okay, we can go home, ma'am.
We just try and answer all the questions that have come in now. Any question that come after now, we will not take it.
Okay.
Sorry, Femi is saying, good evening. My 18-month-old son has been coughing. Oh, it's like Instagram people today is cough day. Everybody's been coughing and have body temperature. I gave paracetamol. He's still coughing. He's still coughing after 3 days using paracetamol and cough syrup. Okay, I think Femi, you came late to the because I've talked about what you need to do with your child. Does your child have fever? Does he have fast breathing, difficulty with breathing? If not, no need to worry. Most likely it's a viral infection. It will go away. You don't need to worry. Those things are not going to go immediately. They will take their time. But if your child is having fever, having cough, fast breathing, difficulty with breathing, please take the baby to the hospital so that we can rule out pneumonia, which is our main worry, because that is what kills our children, is the pneumonia we don't want. And pneumonia itself gives you sign. So it's not just fever and cough. The child will have high fever, the child will have fast, they'll be breathing fast. You will know breathing. I always tell people because I know you as a parent may not know how to count respiratory rates. But one thing is that breathing is supposed to be a noiseless an activity that you don't even notice. You really don't notice. I'm breathing right now, but you don't know I'm breathing. I'm just talking. So it's so noiseless, it's so unnoticeable. So once you start noticing somebody is breathing, that means it's likely noisy or fast or difficult. So if a child start breathing, or you can hear like the inside, the spaces between the ribs going inside, you can see they are struggling to breathe. That is a sign the child may have pneumonia. That what we call that respiratory distress. You need to take the child to the hospital. But if the child is coughing but otherwise happy, playing, eating, no need to worry. It will go away. But so monitor that fever, because you mentioned your child has fever. If it's high fever is anything above 38, 39. You may also want to go to the hospital, because usually viral infection don't tend to give you high fever. They tend to give you fever that are just mild, 37.5, 38. Once it's going above 38, it's going to 39 for
Has fever.
worrisome. Yeah. Okay, I hope that is helpful. Um Making sure I didn't miss out anybody's question, because some people always say, "Oh, Dr. Remy didn't answer my question." I'm sorry. Apologies in advance. Babajide Deborah, good evening, Doctor. Maybe it's 12 days, white spot on his tongue, some part of his mouth. Please, what can I do? So, if your baby has a newborn baby has white spots on the
The
mouth,
mouth.
or lips or whatever, just clean it. Just get a clean cloth, either your face towel or handkerchief, clean one, put it in water and just clean. If you can easily clean it off, most likely is what we call milk stain. So the
Mm.
breast milk can stain the mouth, can stain the tongue, but it will come out so neatly and nicely. You don't need to use force. You just clean it and it will come out as if you are washing plates. That's how it will come off. But when you try to do that, if it's not coming out easily, or it's coming out with so much force, and when you take it out forcefully, it leaves like a wound, like a blade,
Mm.
then that is,
Reddish.
yeah, reddish. That is most likely oral thrush. Oral thrush is a fungal infection, and that means your baby will need antifungal medication. So you need to see a doctor who can prescribe the oral antifungal medication. But most of the time, it is just mixed in, and you don't need to brush your baby. You don't need to use tomato. You don't need to use what else? You don't need to use glycerin.
Glycerin.
Please don't use all those things. Ordinary clothes and water is all the dentist want you to use for cleaning your baby's mouth until they start bringing out teeth. Then you can now change to toothpaste and toothbrush. I hope that's helpful. So I've given you some bonus answers there. Okay, Miss Tosin is saying my 3-month-old baby is crying so much, refusing breast for 2 days. Only symptom I can see is swollen gum, no fever. She took her immunization today. Okay, so your baby taking immunization can make the baby cry too.
Yeah.
They can be very
Cranky.
irritable. Yeah, so that's fine. Just be patient. Just comfort the baby, call the baby. Sometimes baby can also be irritable when they're about to bring out their teeth. So it's early, 3 months old, but some babies could be quite early, fussy. Just your baby, but if your baby is refusing to suck, I worry about that, because actually the sucking should be their comfort. So if your baby is now refusing to suck, then we need to worry. I hope there's nothing else. So I would just say watch your baby, try and see breastfeed the baby as much. If the baby is not sucking already, at least give a cup and spoon and monitor the baby. Be very careful and gentle when you're handling the legs, where some of you don't know that the immunization site is so painful, and you will just be carrying the baby anyhow. It's a painful site. So be gentle with the legs. Just carry them nice and gentle. Give them lots of cuddles. Let them rest on you. Let them just feel that comfort come through. Usually within 2 days, those should disappear. If your baby doesn't have fever, there's really no need to give paracetamol. Your baby is having mild fever, please check the temperature. You can give
Yes.
paracetamol as well, and just watch. But if your baby is still refusing to suck after, and no matter what you do, please take to the hospital. Let's be sure there's nothing else. Let's not just assume it's immunization or teething. You have to be sure it's not something else, because those should not really make your baby to be to be irritable for too long. So that's my main concern here. Okay, can my 1 year 8 month take Milo adult milk? Yes, well, 1 year 8 months can take whatever you take, but make sure you give them other food and it's not just beverage. Okay, all right. So I think we are done with Instagram.
Okay,
Uh,
ma'am.
quickly run through Facebook.
So, um, pediatrician advice we feed. I think okay, you've
Yeah,
seen it.
yeah, I think I got it.
Pediatrician advice we feed our babies once every 3 to 4 hours. But my baby of 3 months, birth weight 3.5, current weight 5.4, literally cries for breast milk every hour. And I usually oblique by feeding her. Am I
Mm.
wrong?
Okay, you're not wrong obliging your baby breast milk. You can feed on demand as well. The pediatrician did not say you should feed only every 3 to 4 hours. We say feed on demand. But when we say feed on demand, so some mothers will not feed their baby at all because baby is sleeping and did not demand. So we want to balance it up by making sure that feed on demand is at least minimum every 3 hours the baby is feeding. So that's what we meant by that. So because sometimes we really need to be very careful so that we don't get ourselves into trouble. But if you are feeding your baby every hour, something is wrong. It's either your baby is not sucking well, not lactating well, because your baby is not really gaining so much weight as such. Your baby has only gained about two
Yes.
kilos in 3 months. So it's not as if the baby is gaining too much weight from too much. So you need to make sure, number one, that your baby is well attached to the breast, and make sure you empty the breast and make sure you're lactating well, because if you're lactating well, I'm happy your baby is gaining weight, which is good, which means at least you are doing something, you are doing well in
Good.
one respect. So then I've always told mothers, babies like to suck not because they are hungry. Sometimes they suck
Mm,
for other reasons. So babies suck sometimes because they just want to feel their mother. They want to have the pleasure of sucking, or they want to feel your warmth. They want to be sure you are not running away. But I'm worried if your baby is sucking every hour. When is your baby sleeping? That is a question I want to ask, because your baby should be sleeping at least 3 to 4 hours after each feed. So at this age, so if your baby is not, if your baby is sucking every hour, when does baby sleep? That's the question. So you need to check what you're doing, watch our breastfeeding videos again, and make sure that we're doing it right. But just if your baby is already full, you have, you as a mother, I'm sure you know, when you finish breastfeeding a baby that is full, you will see, you can see that your breasts are empty, the baby's tummy is over the place, or someone's bloated. So maybe to even start bringing back the milk, they are that full to the point that they almost start vomiting it out. Then you know that what the baby needs is not breast milk. So you don't need to always just put the breast in their mouth. You can find out. That's why some people do other things. So find another way of comforting your baby and all that. Sometimes maybe do all those things. Some babies can be having colic and they use the breastfeeding as a comfort tool. That's their way of suiting themselves. So you just have to work it out as a mom, and know. So if you think your baby is already full, you can feel the tummy is full, everything, but baby still wants to suck, you don't have to give the baby breast milk at that point. Just find another way of comforting the baby, because I want your baby to also be sleeping. I mean, and if your baby is not sleeping, because baby starts sucking every hour, when is baby sleeping? That's the question
mhm.
I'm concerned about. So I hope we have helped a bit. If you're not sure, you can ask on our Facebook group. We can show you our videos.
Yes. Yes. My baby is 5 months and having cough and catarrh seem like a sign of pneumonia. I've used Tambac Steph as advised by doctor, yet it's not going away. Please, what do I do?
So Amara, if you are late to this video, you need to watch the video all over again, because I spent over 15 minutes talking about pneumonia. Cough and catarrh is not pneumonia. So your baby having cough and catarrh does not mean your baby has pneumonia. Okay, so I've talked about fast breathing, difficulty with breathing, fever. Those are the signs of pneumonia. Your child has been treated with antibiotics. So go back to your doctor. Another bonus points: anytime your child is treated by a doctor, your child is not better, go back to that doctor. Let the doctor know. And the fact that cough has not gone does not mean the infection has not gone. Sometimes the cough is a reflex, is the body's response to clearing. So sometimes the cough itself may not disappear immediately, even though the infection itself has been cleared. So that we don't use cough to gauge whether a baby has pneumonia or whether infection is still there or not. So there are many reasons why babies cough. But if you go to your doctor can examine the baby's chest and tell you, okay, everything is fine, the baby is happy, so this mild cough will soon go away. So But your doctor can only do that because your doctor knows your baby before, knows how your baby is now, and can advise you for that. But I also want you to watch this video so that you understand what the signs of pneumonia are, because that is not absolutely correct. Yeah.
Chinyere Okeke, please, doctor, what causes consistent of cough in a year and 11-month child? After treating it, it will come back again.
You need to go back to your doctor.
Same
The
thing.
same answer. So if your
The
baby is
same
being
answer.
treated for, yeah, if your baby is being treated for a symptom and it keeps going and coming, it is time for your doctor to think about what are the causes, what are other causes. Usually for recurrent cough, we start thinking, is it asthma, is it other things? So please see your baby. And everybody keep using the word consistent. Please don't use the word consistent. It doesn't really make any meaning to a doctor. How long has your baby been coughing? That is your baby cough every day for 2 days, 1 week. That make more sense. Don't just say consistent. I don't know what the word consistent means. So tell me your baby coughs every day for 2 weeks. I understand that. That makes more meaning to me. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, my blessing. Can a baby who was fed with formula for a week and then subsequently breastfeed for the next 6 months be called the exclusive breastfeeding baby?
So your exclusive breastfeeding is the period where you did not give formula. So that you will just surprise the 1 week. So you will say you did exclusive breastfeeding for 5 months and 3 weeks. It's okay, but we are not giving any award so for now. So don't worry yourself. I'm happy that you exclusive breastfeed your baby. You don't need to prove a point to anybody. So yeah, so you can say you started exclusive breastfeeding from after your baby was 1 week old till now. That is what you need to tell your doctor. All right.
Thank you. Good evening, ma'am. Please, my baby is 7 months, birth weight 4.2, current weight 7.5. My question, my baby didn't suck breast for 6 months due to some complications. I
Hmm.
heard, but she's eager to know. Please, can she still suck?
Yes, yes.
And is there any health benefit or side effects?
There's no side effect to breastfeeding. Just breastfeed your baby. You didn't tell us what was wrong, what the complications are, but we hope that you are okay now and you are okay to breastfeed. So the only time you are not supposed to breastfeed if you are on anti-cancer medication or your baby has a metabolic disorder that is not compatible with breastfeeding. Otherwise, please breastfeed your baby. So since you are happy to, you are lactating, your baby is eager to breastfeed, then do it. Okay, Laura, I think I should just run through the rest of the question and so that
Okay, ma'am.
we don't
Okay, ma'am.
we okay, I
Okay,
can answer
okay.
my baby from sucking his finger. So baby suck their finger as a form of an athlete. So give the baby something else to hold in their hands and all that. And you to be sensitive to the baby. Make sure you feed them when they are hungry. Don't wait until they cry, sucking their fingers before you attend to them. All right, Facebook sir, my causes of lump in front of a 2-year-old neck. You need to see a doctor. We need to see the doc. There are many things along the neck. It could be thyroid, it could be parathyroid, it could be even lymph nodes. We need to see the baby to know what exactly is swollen. It's a very urgent something when you have any swelling around the neck area because it can press on the airway. So please see the doctor immediately. Oyedole, pneumonia be recorded. Okay, so this is a question people ask all the time. Pneumonia is not usually recurrent. So if your baby is having asthma, your baby is not likely going. Asthma is recurrent. Attacks could be recurrent, but asthma attack can be triggered off by any infection, including pneumonia. But it's not that every time your baby have an asthma attack, there's also a pneumonia. It is very, 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 very unlikely. Okay, and please, if your child has asthma, your child should be under a pediatrician who is monitoring that baby. Asthma can also kill children fast. So
Hmm.
please, because some children asthma needs that they are on medication that they are taking every day to prevent attacks. So please make sure you go to most of the teaching hospitals, general hospitals, federal medical center are what we call asthma clinics. They have the one for children. Please make sure you go to those clinics. Thank you. Okay, we've answered the question about baby sucking finger. I need 3K. Oh, somebody is saying you need 3K. Okay,
Well, good.
people do inbox me to say they want to support people and all that. And what I normally tell people is that if you want to support anybody, feel free to contact them directly, because ACP cannot verify all this information, and we don't do this kind of charity. We're a charity organization, but we don't do individual charity. We do community outreaches, so we don't raise funds for people individually. That is just how we run. That's our policy. So, but there are organizations that do this kind of things. Please feel free to contact them, and if you want to help the person, you are free to contact them. But please, we are not part of it. So if you get duped or anything, please, ACB cannot. We take our disclaimer policy to that. We don't get involved at all. So it is you and the person on your own, please. We want our platform to be safe at the same time. Yeah. Okay. It's baby 6 weeks, 3.5, 10 weeks, 4.3. Your baby's weight is fine. It's okay. It doesn't, when we say averagely 1 kg per month, it doesn't mean it has to be exactly 1 kilo every month. It's just a guide. Things are guides, and they are not like if your baby falls short by 0.1, then there's a problem. No, just keep breastfeeding exclusively. Okay, so asthma and pneumonia is not the same. So Oyedunle, you need to go to our Facebook group, read our group discussion on asthma, or you go to our website. We have a whole 2 articles on asthma, and then you also have something on pneumonia as well. Please read them. They are not the same. They are not the same. The only thing that joins asthma and pneumonia is that they all have to do with the lungs. They all have to do with the airway. Asthma is not an infection. Pneumonia is an infection. Okay? So asthma is a form of a condition where your airway becomes narrowed due to various reasons, mostly allergic thing, and it's something that can happen. Is reversible. The airway can become narrowed and the airway can open up. So that is what happened in asthma. In pneumonia, the problem is in the lungs itself. In the lung issue, there is some infection, bacteria, viruses, whatever, causing infection in the lungs. Somebody who is already having asthma tendency, if the child has infection in the lungs, it can trigger off the narrowing of the airway. So there are 2 different medical conditions. They are not the same. So if you are confused, the symptom is the cough. You can have cough in both pneumonia, you can have cough in asthma, but you don't tend to have wheezing in pneumonia. You don't have fever in asthma. So there are differences. So you need to really understand. And for parents, I really want to take time. Sorry, I need to do this, but if your child is asthmatic, you need to know about asthma, because you will be the one managing that child for asthma. It's very important. And asthma is also a condition. If you don't do the right thing at the right time, the child can go quickly, because we are talking about the airway becoming narrowed. So you need to know what to do when your child is having an attack. When do you go to the hospital? You need to know. Parents manage asthma. It is one condition where self-medication is allowed. Parents should know how to start the inhaler, how to give it. Oh, it is one condition where we allow parents to self-medicate, and we need you to understand it. So please, again, if your child is asthmatic, you must be attending an asthma clinic. It is very, very important. Or otherwise, if you keep going to hospital where they don't know what is going on and they just keep giving your children antibiotics, it's going to backfire one day, seriously. And I say that with all sense of seriousness and responsibility. Please go to a general hospital or a teaching hospital. Ask for the asthma clinic for children. They usually have 1 day in a week where they do that clinic. You must be going to that clinic. If you're in Lagos, you can go to Lutz. The clinic is on Friday. If you're outside Lagos, please just go to any of your tertiary level hospitals and they will guide you. Is it possible to overfeed a baby? Yes, it's possible to overfeed a baby. Usually, babies are actually not greedy. Most of the time, when they are full, they stop feeding. But some babies are also greedy, just like just like other people. You see some baby, they will almost vomit, but they still want to suck. But you as a parent, that is where you kick in. Thank you, Pastor Mike. As Bila, I won't be reading everything because our time is up.
Yes.
Came from school, as chicken pox, malaria, calamine lotion, blah blah blah.
Hey.
Okay, since you have seen a doctor, please go back to the doctor for a follow-up. Let the doctor see your baby again, no problem. How good is steam inhalation? I think I've talked about steam inhalation already.
Yes, we have.
Just say careful. If there's nothing wrong with the steam inhalation, just know how to do it. But more importantly, please be careful of hot water. I don't want to talk waterborne. So, what are symptoms of measles? Measles tends to give you fever, then you have cough, catarrh, red eyes, then you have the measles rash. So, if you want to know more about measles, go to our Facebook group or our website. We have a whole article about measles and or group discussion on measles. What year can a child be potty trained? How do I go about it? So, for you, we have a whole article on potty training. Children can be potty trained from the age of 18 months. So there's no fast and quick. Each child is different, so you must be gentle. Or if you're looking for a quick fix, it may also backfire. So just be gentle, just be ready and be patient, because no two children will present the same way when it comes to potty training. Some children just stop, they just do it by themselves. Some children you need to, be gentle, take longer. But there's an article on our website for you that you can read. Oh, Dr. Ifeoluwa, thank you for joining us. Dr.
Oh,
Good evening. 7 months old daughter has been vomiting since morning. Please take the baby to the hospital. There is no what do you call it? There's no first aid for vomiting at home. There's nothing you can do to stop vomiting at home. Take the child to the hospital. Be given ORS, but if the child keeps vomiting, we just have to stick in a line into that baby. 7 months old vomiting since morning. This is 6 p.m., 7 p.m. Nigerian time. Please go to the hospital now. Now, please, very urgent. Children can get dehydrated so fast, they can go into shock, and then we start, when you come to our emergency room, we start looking for how to get vein. Please, this is the time to go to the hospital when we can say find vein. So please go now. My son eats paper and nylon. Okay, yeah. How old is your son? You didn't tell us. So if a child is eating paper, nylon, soil, things that are not food, we call it pica. It's a medical
yes.
condition, and it's a sign. We see it in children who have iron deficiency. We see it in children who have lead poisoning. We see it in some children who have some developmental disabilities. So you need to see a pediatrician. Let them do the blood test. The commonest is that iron deficiency, and it's something we can easily treat. Give them iron blood tonic, and they will be fine. Some lead poisoning, we may have to advise you on how to stop exposure to lead and all that. But please, you need to see, it's a problem. It is a problem if your child is putting non-food item in their mouth. It is not number one, putting non-food item is exposing the child to germs and all that, but you can even work on that.
Yes.
But more importantly, we need to address the underlying reason why the
Issues.
baby.
What causes it?
Baby started solid. I always okay. She's 6 months old. Thank you. She has no poo poo in 24 hours or more. So please, when you are starting solid, remember that you don't stop breastfeeding. You keep breastfeeding, and please make sure you give water. Once they are 6 months and they are solid, make sure it's semi-solid, the right consistency. You also give them plain water to drink. Please go to our guide section, do the guide on complementary day. I'm not worried that your baby has not poo in 24 hours. Baby don't have to poo every day. We don't worry about that. As long as the baby is not struggling to poo or the poo is hard, it is not constipation. So babies don't poo every day anyway. So that's nothing to worry about. So it's not like it's compulsory your baby must poo every day. When your baby is ready, baby will poo. What's the method of giving a baby Abidec without being prescribed by a pediatrician? You can give your baby Abidec. You don't need a pediatrician to prescribe Abidec for you. You don't need. There are some drugs, we call it over-the-counter
Over
drugs.
counter.
So these are drugs that you can give your baby without us. You can give your baby paracetamol without a pediatrician. I know it's our fault. We scream a lot about self-medication that some people. Maybe we should have also advised there are some drugs you can give, and we will not fight. You can give multivitamins, we will not fight. You can give paracetamol if your baby has fever, we will not fight. What other things can you give? You can give warm expeller when your baby is of the age for the warming, we will not fight. So the only thing I'm going to fight, the only thing we will fight about is if you give antibiotics and all that, all those other what we call prescription only medication. Yeah.
Ma'am,
Larry, want to
I think you might need to ask the age of that child. Maybe newborn baby and they are trying to make a jogba for the baby.
Yeah. So for newborn babies, just give them breast milk only. Even the Abidec, they don't need all those things.
They don't need
Actually,
it.
probably in Nigeria, because we for in other countries, because this is a program being watched by people from different countries. So for example, in your country, like if you're in the UK, for example, they don't have so much sunlight, so they tend to give their babies vitamin D because the baby can become vitamin D deficient. So give what your health visitor advises you to give. But for those of you in Africa, you are making sufficient vitamin D from your skin and everything, so from the sunlight. So you don't need to give anything. It's okay. But if you want to give multivitamins, it's okay. We're not going to fight over that one. It's okay. But please don't give antibiotics. And that's where we start fighting. Don't give TT medication. Don't give all those other stuff. My baby grunts when breathing, especially in the morning. No mucus. How old is this baby? Oh my goodness. You always tell us the age of your baby. And the word grunts is a very scary word for a pediatrician. I have a feeling that's not really what you meant. But when you use the word grunting, we are worried because we're thinking this child is having difficulty with breathing and we're worried about pneumonia. So I really, really would rather see a video of this baby breathing and hear that sound, because mother use a lot of the word for those sounds, and sometimes I do see a lot of videos people post and say, oh, this is how my baby is breathing, and I listen to the sound. The baby is having a normal baby sound, no breathing issue. Baby is just having fun. So it may be easier for me if you post a video of this sound and then we can decide, okay? But the word grunting, if I take it very literal, it's a very scary word for a pediatrician, because we use the word when we're talking about a child who is having difficulty with breathing, and that is when you really need to go to hospital. All right, okay. 3 months old baby body because of hot weather. Yeah, well, it's fine. Yeah, just wear them diaper or something. It's okay, but don't leave them exposed for too long. Why not just wear a light cotton like vest or something? I think I would rather prefer that. It's like Nigeria is very hot now. Got so many questions about hot weather. um, my baby is 14 months, not yet walking. Okay, walking is, if your baby is not walking by 18 months, then you can see us. Is your baby standing already? Is baby holding to support? If your baby is doing that, walking around the table while holding the table, then I will not worry. But if your baby is not even standing, it's not crawling, then you may need to see a pediatrician now. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, I think that's all. Oh no, it's not all. God have mercy. 6 month old scratching his eyes. What could be the problem? You've not really given us much information. Is the eyes red? Is it watery? Is it just scratching? So we need to know why baby is scratching. So, but you've not given enough information. I would advise you post it on our Facebook group, provide those extra information, and then we can figure out which of the scratching, whether is it with the eyes itself or is it something on the skin that baby is reacting to. Baby was treated with 2 weeks after birth for pneumonia. What is the chances? What is the chances the baby is? I don't understand what you mean. Do you mean the chances of the baby having it again?
Having it again. The baby is 3 months.
No, just keep breastfeeding. Baby may not have it again. If you do the right thing, make sure baby is immunized, make sure your baby is breastfeeding exclusively. Just do your best. No exposure to smoke. You know, I've mentioned all those things before. Let's not repeat it. Baby is 6 months old, blah blah blah. Poo has been green in color since she started complementary feeding. So what is the complementary feeding? What food are you giving? Vegetable, for example. If you are giving vegetable, your stool may be green, and please keep breastfeeding as well. You need to be very. So when people say my baby is feeding well, my baby is on, I really, for me, I want to know what it is you are giving the baby. It's better to tell me I'm giving a bar, more rice or this, or I'm giving pap and this. That make more sense for us, so that we know whether it's related to the food or not. So, but please do the complementary feeding guide, so that you at least just be sure you're on the right path. If you're giving your baby a wedu, the stool will be green, and there's something wrong with that. So that's fine. My baby is having rashes on her face. She's 6 weeks old. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Okay, so you've seen a pediatrician. The pediatrician has given you a cream. Please go back to the pediatrician for a follow-up.
Yes.
But you can also watch, one of our doctors did a discussion on how to take care of your baby's skin. So sometimes your baby it's as simple as baby is reacting to the soap or the cream you're using, and all you need to do is to stop, use hypoallergenic one. I just really hope, because most pediatricians will not give you a cream. We tend to address those issues first. So unless it's an infection that the pediatrician has seen, and okay, yes, that's fine. But it's best to go back to the pediatrician, because you didn't tell us what the pediatrician says, so we don't know what the pediatrician is thinking beyond the fact that the pediatrician gave you a cream. So it's best to go back to the pediatrician. I'm sorry for speaking so fast. I'm just trying to save time.
Yes, time is fast spent.
Yes, I already suspect your baby is somebody who has been circumcised. I think that's the baby that has the white stuff around the
Yes, yes.
all that.
The
So
private part.
And I suspect you did a plastibel, something the plastic type.
The
So
ring.
that's not, so the ring, and hopefully it has come off now. So it may be around those areas where the ring was. That's why. So just wash it normally and put Vaseline. Normal
Mm.
Vaseline, no cream, no penicillin, nothing, just normal cream. Keep it moisturized. It's nothing to worry about. Baby has dirt in the hair. Please don't clean your baby's hair with cotton bud. Please
No, hair wax.
don't. Just leave your baby's hair alone. You can clean it if something come out on the outside, the wax and all that. You can just use your white
Mm.
face towel handkerchief, clean on the outside. Please don't stick cotton bud into the
But
hair. Sorry, I'm going Yoruba now. Please don't do that.
yes. Mm.
Okay, can you educate me on the care? Okay, so I guess so. Please, if you go to our Facebook group, please put this question on your Facebook group because somebody will put you the link where you read what the ENT doctors say about how to clean your baby's hair. So we have a very good, lovely article on our Facebook group. I think you should just put it on our Facebook group. Somebody will be able to give you that answer straight away. I'm gonna okay, yes, I think we've answered you now. We've answered you.
Mm.
Yeah, maybe on the BF has not put for 2 weeks. That is perfectly normal. Just keep breastfeeding
Yes.
exclusively. Okay, we answered the green pool question already.
Yes.
Uh okay, somebody is congratulating herself. But today the weight is 14.2, 3 years. Wow, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Wow.
Okay. Oh man, this question, this congratulation is too long. We'll stop it at there. We can't even see the rest of it, so we'll stop. If you write too long, Facebook too will cut off your writing. We can't see the last of it, so please keep it short and simple. Somebody had a baby with EBF, 8 weeks old. You had fever, blah blah blah. I got the big. Okay. What drug did you take? So you take a drug and your breast reduced. I don't think it may not necessarily be the drug. When you are sick, you are not likely eating well, you're not likely drinking enough, you are stressed out. These are the things that will drop your breast milk production. So what you need to do now is to stop being stressed out,
And
relax,
rest.
drink lots of water, and just keep breastfeeding, and your milk will flow. I don't know the rest of what you wrote down, unless your doctor told you can't breastfeed with your medication. Please, if you are breastfeeding and you are sick, you need to tell your doctors you are breastfeeding so that they will make sure they don't give you something that is not compatible with breastfeeding. Okay, baby was bitten by mosquito. Don't treat malaria. Please don't treat mosquito bites as malaria. If your baby has mosquito bites, leave it alone. Not every mosquito bite will cause malaria. If your baby now has
Yes.
fever, that is when you start treating malaria. And baby said we like to suck a lot, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Okay, so this person, the fact that baby suck and suck does not mean your baby is not satisfied with breast milk. So you need to go to our Facebook group, ask this question because I have answered that question in details, and somebody
Several
can send
times.
the link. Yeah, so using what? What is mouth? Okay, using mouth to remove mucus. Please don't do it. Just let the mucus flow out and clean it with an handkerchief. Okay.
Yeah.
What do I consider as fast breathing? Okay, you won't be able to know what I consider as fast breathing. So there's a way we count the respiratory rate, but you as a mom, you're not able to count the respiratory rate. So what I would suggest is that if you think your baby is breathing fast, go see any health professional, a nurse, a doctor. They can count it for you, and they will know because parents don't know how to count. We count it as a cycle, but parents just count both the out and the in, and it can be confusing. So I don't want to get you confused. Is there another treatment for adenoid except surgery? If your doctor has told you surgery is the only treatment available, yes, then go for surgery. Because usually we wait for 5 to 6 years for you to go. But if by the 5 years your baby is still having serious symptoms and you've been told to do surgery, please do the surgery. It's a pretty straightforward surgery. Is it bathing baby with hot water? So people do ask this question a lot, and I do wonder. You never need to bath your baby with hot water right from the one. Your baby, what you do is that you people are just mixing cold and hot water together because you want to give what we call lukewarm or
Lukewarm.
tepid water. So it is not. We don't call that hot water. Nobody bath with hot water. Babies don't bath with hot water. You bath them with water that you see.
Lukewarm.
The way to know water that is okay for your baby, you must be able to put your hand inside that water and leave it there. So if you put your hand inside water, you cannot leave it, you have to remove it. That water is too hot for your baby, even for the newborn baby. The water must be tepid, a water that you can put your hand in and sleep. Like tap water temperature. So that's what we want you to use for your baby. Never use hot water or cold, like ice cold water for baby. Da 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 da. I'm not sure what this question is. Your baby is squeezing face after tasting the nipple. I don't understand, but your baby is feeding well. Okay, whether baby squeeze eyes or not, as long as baby is feeding well, just let the baby be going on and be feeding well. Greenish poo. I think we've answered greenish poo again.
Yes, we have.
So if your baby is less than
Also
6 months,
greenish poo.
breastfeed exclusively and the greenish poo will go. Make sure your baby empty the breast, both the fore milk and the hind milk. Baby is 3.5, is a year, 8 kg. It's okay. The weight is not bad. We want it to be around 10, but it is still close to normal. Yeah, finally. Thank you. Thank you. We finished. I think we finished. Yeah, we've gone to question number
Yes.
7. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
remaining questions are after sevens.
Yeah. So please
So
go post the question. But should we answer them? Okay, just about 6 of them.
yeah, you can just run through them.
Okay,
But any
sure.
other one, more questions are still dropping.
No, no, no,
More
no, no.
questions are dropping.
Okay, let's see. Who's the last question now? I
The
think,
last one now is 7:35.
yeah,
Facebook
but that is
user.
about adenoid. We've already answered the question on adenoid. So if your
Yes, we
doctor has
have.
told you, I do get up. I don't know how to answer when people ask me whether babies are too young to do surgery. Somebody has gone to a pregnant woman, bring out the baby inside the womb, operate on the baby, and return the baby back to the womb for the baby to be born. So there is nobody that is too young for surgery. They carry out surgery on babies in the womb. So how can you say your 3-year-old is too young for surgery? There's nothing like that. So there's nobody that cannot be operated if it is necessary. So that is a myth. Okay, so doctors are now operating on even the babies that has not been born, not to talk of babies that have been born. So if your doctor has told you to do surgery, relax. Ask them questions. Your baby can do the surgery. Okay. I decided to answer the last question so that I don't go down. I go up. So that way
Yes, yes,
we will not
yes,
have.
yes.
Baby is breathing fast from birth and now she's 9 months old. I took her to the hospital. They say it will change. Your baby is underweight. Your baby is breathing fast. You need to see a pediatrician. I'm worried about the baby who is breathing fast from birth and baby is not gaining weight. A 9 months old should be weighing like 9 kilos. So your baby was also small from birth. So we need to be sure there's no heart problem, there's no congenital problem with that baby. Please go to a teaching hospital. Don't go to just any hospital. You need to see the specialist now for that kind of a baby. 6 month old, blah blah blah. Age appropriate. What is the age appropriate milk? La 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 la. La. Okay. Yeah. Da 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 da. No, we cannot certify you that your baby has cow milk allergy or not. So that is not our job. So it doesn't matter. There may be other issues beyond that. But I think you focus on, you can still give the other milk again and see whether your baby will take it and there'll be nothing because it depends on what really happens around the time you give the milk. Okay, people say the weather is very hot. Thank you for letting me know. 7-year-old is having discharge from where? From the nose, from the mouth, from the eyes. You need to be very specific.
Mm,
So,
yes.
so
I think
people just
that's
say discharge.
14.
Yeah, you said vagina. You said
That is the
vagina
last
discharge.
question.
No,
Oh,
I
has
don't.
it?
No, no, I know it's. I
No,
think it's
no,
not.
it didn't.
Mail is the last person I know where. Don't worry, I know where my last question
Okay.
is.
All right, ma.
I know because I saw
Okay, ma.
Ismail Ali's comment, so I know that's the
Yes, I've
cutoff
seen
from.
Ismaili.
Yeah. What is going to be having hiccups? It's just one of those things. Actually it's due to, let me just answer. It's actually due to the irritation of the diaphragm. So, but there's nothing to worry about. It's a minor thing. Just leave it to stop on its own. There's no reason to worry. Is measles recurrent? No. It's very, very, very rare for a baby to have measles twice. You only have measles once because once you have it, you should get what we call life immunity. 9-month-old baby bites your nipple. Yes, they do that. It's a part of the play. So remove your nipple and then try and breastfeed again. So it's one of the things you have to contend with once your baby starts having teeth. Sometimes they are not doing it maliciously. Sometimes they are doing it because they want to bite on something. So you can give them teeter to bite on, then breastfeed, when they are not being fussy. Oh, thank you. This is a feedback. And Nalaine is saying, okay, this is nice to also have feedback. Like when we give you advice, you use the advice and the advice has worked. Thank you, Andalaine, for that beautiful feedback. At least it tells us that we're doing something right. Okay, my baby, yeah, this is the last question. My baby is 7 months old, 15 days, doesn't stand well. Legs are always shaking. His weight is 11 kilos. Okay, number one, a 7-month-old should not be standing. Let's start with that. A 7-month-old should be crawling, sitting.
Mm-hmm.
No, not even crawling, sitting without support. That's what I expect. So don't force your baby to stand or when the baby is not yet ready. So
Wait is
I
okay.
mean, you're even saying baby should not stand well. Baby should not be standing at all. So I'm not even worried that baby is not standing well. I don't even want baby standing at 7 months. So you need to know what is normal milestones. So if you post on our Facebook group, somebody will be able to help you because we need to have right expectation. Obviously, you are forcing the baby to stand when baby is not even ready to stand. Usually, standing is around 10 months, 11 months. So 7 months, or should just be sitting. If your baby is able to sit well, I am happy. Just let the baby be. And your baby is a little bit overweight as well. The weight is 11 kilos. That's the weight of a 1 year or 1.5 year old baby. So just be sure you are also not overfeeding the baby as well. So maybe because baby stopped breastfeeding at 5 months, I hope you are not overdoing the complementary. But your baby is still in milk, and I hope you are giving appropriate formula. It's really not nice that baby stop breastfeeding. Okay, finally, Hobolara has disappeared on me and I've finished answering all the questions. All right, Instagram people. Oh my goodness. Let me just answer the last set of Instagram, then we can leave. Okay, Hobolara is back. Hobolara, let me just answer the 4 or 5 questions on Instagram, then we can leave.
Okay, ma.
Because I don't want to be
Okay,
unfair to Instagram people. I'm sorry. Okay, we've answered Mulara. Yeah, we've answered this one. Yeah, we answered the Milo and yeah. Please, where can I take my baby for evaluation? Hospital? I mean, I don't understand that question. Do you mean we should tell you a specific hospital, or you are just asking generic? Maybe you need to be more specific. Femi, breathing is okay. Okay, that's a follow up. The baby is breathing fine. He was uncomfortable overnight when he wants to cough. Temperature is okay. Okay, so don't worry, your baby will be fine. Just be patient. Adisabola, 9 months old, didn't talk yet. All I can hear from him is, "Are you okay?" That's good. And sometimes, and I've already booked him to ENT. No, your baby who is not talking does not need to see ENT. Your baby need to see a pediatrician. You need to see a developmental pediatrician.
Developmental.
Well, maybe ENT can do hearing tests, but actually our audiology should be doing that. They should have a hearing test. But if your baby can say A, can repeat some words, most likely baby can hear, but you should have an hearing test. Then see a speech therapist and a pediatrician, not ENT doctors. They are not the right place to go. Yeah, I think I'm done. Yeah. Okay. Somebody Joffisy, my 5 month old keep rubbing his ears. Okay. We treated hair infection. The pores dried up, I guess, you meant. So rubbing the baby's hair does not mean they have infection. There are many reasons why baby rub their hair. Baby rub their hair from habits. Sometimes they rub their hair from if you use a cream or oil that is irritating their hair, they can rub it. So it is not by rubbing hair that we make a diagnosis of hair infection. We have to look inside the ears and we must see pulse, or the child must have fever and all that. So if your baby does not have any hair infection, rubbing the hair, it may just be an habit thing and it's nothing to worry about. How do you get the white stuff from your baby's tongue? Clean it with clean cloths and water. But baby stop for 5 minutes and take away his mouth. You can put it back if you think baby still need to suck or the breast is not. But if baby is full, some babies are okay, depending on the age of your baby. Some babies are very efficient sucker. The older babies tend to suck fast, so they can suck drain the breast in 5 minutes. So it depends on your baby. A baby of 4 weeks feed and sometimes spit up. No concern. There's no concern about that. That is reflux and it's perfectly normal. When can a baby boy start sitting? When baby is ready. You don't need to force the baby to sit, whether a baby boy or girl, it's the same thing. There's nothing special about baby boy sitting. I don't know why Nigerians ask that question a lot of time. I'm sure there's one myth about that, but there's nothing that makes baby to. So usually babies start to sit with support around 5 to 6 months, then sit without support around 7 to 8 months. Okay, yeah, I've answered that question. So I've been baby is two. Final question. Yeah, my baby is 2 years plus. She has been coughing only in the night, but fine during the day. Make sure there's nothing that is irritating your baby at night. Is generator fumes close to your room? Are you using what they call a hair freshener? Are you using insecticide spray? There must be something that is happening at night that is irritating your baby, that's making baby to cough. So just try it, think through it, work it out, and you may be able to figure it out and just stop whatever it is, and your baby should be fine. All right, we've done. Thank you, Omolara, for sticking with me.
Thank
And
you so much.
okay,
Wow.
somebody say you never answered mine. We answered all the
No,
questions. There's no
you've
question.
answered. You've answered that. You've answered that.
Maybe you
Yes,
went
you've answered
missing when we are answering your question.
that.
Okay, don't worry,
Anyway,
Lucy. Just ask again on the Facebook group. Okay.
yes. Kindly post
Okay.
your question on our Facebook,
Yeah,
please.
every other
If
question,
your
please post on
answer
the
have not
Facebook
been,
group.
yes,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I can see some more questions dropping. Please,
We
can
will
you take
never
them to the
stop.
Facebook? Yes, take
Okay.
them to the Facebook. Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you so
you
much,
so much.
everybody, for joining us today. As we celebrate our 700K members on Facebook. Please, we want you to bring more before December 31st. We want to hit 1 million. Let's keep sharing, let's keep inviting people, you know. Let's get this done. I know we can do it. Dr. Baby, we can do it. So can hit 1
Yeah,
million
we
before
can do
December.
it. All things are
We can do
possible.
it.
Thank you so much,
If
Amadara, for
everybody can
sticking
bring
with me.
one person, thank you so much, ma. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. Thank you, everybody, for joining
Thank
us.
you so much. So if you still have questions, please, like Amadara said, post it to our Facebook group and we will answer you. Hopefully, I mean, we answer questions every day. So we thank you so much for sticking with us. And we'll see you again. Or you can bring it again next week, Monday, by God's grace. So bye from me.
Bye.
Bye from Balara as well. Okay, let's end the broadcast.